Hallelujah. All praises to the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for truly his mercy endureth forever. Y'all already know who we are. If you don't know who we are your humble servants from the light of Zion. Coming out here to let you know who you are according to the Holy Scriptures. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are God's chosen people, right? You are not so-called blacks, Hispanics, Chicos, niggas, none of that stuff, right? Black people are not black. White people are not white, right? That does not exist. That does not exist. Let me get Isaiah 61. Isaiah 61. I always like that scripture because it makes me feel good, right? Because we came out here to let our people know who they are, right? What you got, what you have to inherit, right? We have the right, we have the honor to be able to inherit the kingdom of God, right? We are the ones that are chosen to go back to the kingdom and to have rulership over in the kingdom and have rulership over all of the nations, right? That's an honor. Everybody doesn't have that honor. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Most High power is upon me.
Say it again.
The Spirit of the Most High power is upon me.
The Spirit of the Most High is upon us. All of these brothers up here. We come out here on the Shabbat, right? We could be just like everybody else, getting up, going to work, trying to get some extra hours, right? Trying to get that overtime, right? Getting ready for a barbecue, thinking about what we're going to do tonight, things like that. No, but the Spirit of the Most High is upon us. Read on.
Because the Most High hath anointed me to preach good tidings.
To do what?
To preach good tidings unto the meek.
So we out here to preach the good tidings. We out here to bring the good news to the people, right? What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother? We came out here to preach the good news. We came out here to let you know you God's chosen people, right? So we came out here to tell everybody the good tidings, let you know what the good news is. Read on.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted.
What's going on, brother? Right? You want to hear the word of the Most High? You love the Lord? How you do that? That's what it say? Let me get St. John 14 and 15. I got the answer for you when you come out, brother. I hope you pumping gas because I'm finna get this word right quick.
Oh yeah, you gonna get this work.
You gonna get this work today. That's right. Hold that for him. Hold that. And go back to Isaiah 61, Barbecue Shy. Just here, use your what you call it. There you go. That's what that thing for. That's what it is. That's what that's for. Hey, shalom, people. Shalom, brothers and sisters. What's going on? Y'all love the Lord? That's right. How you love the Lord? We finna have church today. Continue on with that. Oh, okay. Isaiah 61. Come.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of Yahweh is upon me. Because Yahweh has anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek.
So we've been anointed to come out here and teach this word.
That's right.
We didn't go to no seminary school to come out here and teach this word.
That's right.
No white man can't teach us how to teach the word of the Most High. Right? The Most High anointed us to do this thing. Read on.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted.
To do what?
To bind up the brokenhearted.
Well, who's the brokenhearted of the world? Right? Who's the brokenhearted? Who's the first fired, last hired? Who's the one getting shot down in the street? Right? Who's the one that can't get no kind of equality or no justice? Who is that? We are the brokenhearted. Read on.
To proclaim liberty to the captives.
Right. To proclaim liberty to the captives. Right? Who makes up over 80 or 90% of the jail population in the United States? Us. Right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Asians. Oh, don't even get me started on the Asians. Don't get me started on Moab. We're gonna touch on that though. Read on.
And the opening of the prisons.
And the opening of the prisons that we all locked behind these doors. We locked up for doing things like selling weed and smoking weed, right? But now America's making billions and trillions of dollars off the same thing they've been locking our people up for years and years and years.
That's right.
Right? Read on.
And the opening of the prisons.
To
them that are bound.
To them that are bound, which is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read on.
To proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh.
To proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High. of the Most High. That's what it... Let me get that St. John 14 to 15. All right, brother, so you said... you thought I was going to go somewhere, huh? All right. Let me give you one scripture real quick, right? If you don't mind, real quick. So we talked about how we showed God that we love him, right? And you said we pray Okay, let me get that.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 14 and verse 15. If you love me.
If you love God.
Keep my commandments.
Do what?
Keep my commandments.
Do you keep God's commandments? You trying? Do you know his commandments? Numbers 15:38. I'm going to give you one real quick. Real quick, right? This goes into the dress code, right? Because in the Christian church, they tell you the laws is done away with. Is that what they tell you? You heard that before? You never heard that before? So they don't say all you got to do is believe on Christ, that he came, he was risen, third day, your sins is forgiven, all that other stuff. You never heard that before? Right, because they say they don't tell you, because like, what you got right there? Okay, go ahead. You get that.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel.
Which you are.
And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Fringes. This is a dress code. This is a law.
That's right.
This is a law that God told us. Let me get Leviticus 19 and 27. There's another one. Every day, all day. That's right. Every day, throughout your generations. Your kids. One more real quick and then I'm done. One more.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 27. Ye shall not run the corners of your head.
So you can't bald your head. Read on.
Neither shall you mar the corners of your beard.
So you gotta let your beard grow, brother. You can keep it trimmed down if you want to, but you have to let your beard grow. You can't cut into it, like you can't get a line up, because you can't do that. Right? So that's another law that the Most High told us we gotta keep, because you are the children of Israel. You God's chosen people.
That's right.
You are an Israelite. Right? What are you, so-called Black American? Where your father from? The islands or something? Huh? Okay, so you from the tribe of Judah. That's the same tribe Christ came from. That's right. A powerful tribe. That's right. Remember that. You from the tribe of Judah. You ain't black no more. That's right. All praises to the Most High. All right. We want to be black so bad. That's right. What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother, with the black and red hat on? What's going on? Shalom. Peace and blessings to you. What you know about the Lord? You go to church? You don't want to hear the word. You don't want to talk about the Most High. He woke you up this morning. You should give him some time. He gave you the time that you can give. That's all right. That's all right. What's going on, brother or sister, whoever that is in the car? What's going on, brother? How you doing? Sir, do you go to church, brother?
No, I don't go.
All praises to the Most High. Do you read the Bible?
Yeah.
You do read the Bible. Okay, so do you know who you are according to the Bible? Have you come to the conclusion as to who you are according to the Bible? Huh? Okay, can I tell you who you are? Do you mind if you got a few minutes for me to tell you? Okay, let me get Deuteronomy 28. So okay, we all know, these brothers up here know that we are of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, right? So the Bible told us that there were going to be signs, there were going to be curses that were going to be put on the children of Israel throughout time, throughout the generations, right? For us to identify who the real Israelites are. A lot of people say Jews, but all the Israelites aren't Jews, right? So you got the white people over there in Israel, they say they're the real Jews, right? But we've been to identify who the real Jews are according to the Bible, not by what nobody says. 20 and 15 right quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses shall come upon you and overtake you.
So, this is Moses talking to the children of Israel after they came out of Egypt. He said, if we don't do what God tells us to do, all these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. 20 and 54.
Verse 54.
This is one of the curses, right? And just think about today, how our people, and see who this fits, who these curses, or who carries these characteristics right now. Read.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate,
right?
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
His eyes shall be what?
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
So let's say, for instance, you got a nephew or a son or something like that, right? And they in the area, and it ain't nothing but us, right? And one of them step on the other one's shoe. What happened? Somebody gonna get in a fight. Somebody gonna get shot. Is that not somebody's eye being evil towards their brother? Read on.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And towards his wife. Don't we have problems in the household all the time? The husband and the wife, we always want to lead. The wife get on your nerves, no agreeing. The wife want to wear the pants in the family. She don't want the man to be the man. Read.
and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
Which he shall what?
Which he shall lead.
Now, what community of people has a rampant situation of fatherless households? That's us, right? Is that the Jewish man in Israel? Does that fit them? Does that fit the Chinese man or the Arab man? That fits our communities, right? Right. So again, these are the curses that are going to fit the children of Israel, the Jews, right? That Moses said was going to be on us forever, right? 28:68. Now here's the real kicker right here. Tell me if this don't fit us.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Okay, so the Lord said, so Moses told us that the Lord said he was going to bring us back into Egypt. Now, if you're familiar with the Bible, in the Exodus, he brought us out of Egypt, right? To get away from Pharaoh, right? So he says, we're going to go back into Egypt again. Read.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now, do you remember how we got out of Egypt? Didn't we walk out? So why do we need ships to go back into Egypt? Okay, now check this out. That means something. Let me explain. Okay, go ahead. Or can I finish this real quick? All right, Exodus 22, hold that. So I'm going to explain the which ships real quick. Real quick. Go ahead.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am Yahweh thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
He brought us out of Egypt, right?
Out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt means bondage. Egypt is synonymous with bondage. Go back to 68.
Verse 68.
So this is going to explain when he says he brings us back into Egypt with ships. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into bondage, because we left out of slavery and bondage out of Egypt. So he's saying, I'm going to bring you out of Egypt. He's saying, I'm going to bring you out of slavery again, right?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Read it again.
And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So he said he's going to put us back into slavery with ships. How do we get over here in America from where we were? No, to America from over there? How do we get over? Slave ships, right? That was called the transatlantic slave trade. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Read on.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
When we got over here, what happened to us as slaves? We were sold, right? Well, who do we sold to? And it said we were sold into who?
Our enemies.
Our who?
Our enemies.
That the Bible called the white man our enemies.
That's right.
Read on.
For bondmen.
For slave men. Read.
And bond women.
And slave women. Read on.
And no man shall buy you.
Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Nobody could get us, buy us, meaning redeem us out of this bondage. So, hearing all of this, you need to know and take it to heart and mind that you are God's chosen people.
That's right.
You are a real Jew from the tribe. Let me back up real quick. All right, is your father a so-called Black American?
Yeah.
So you be from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
Because that's the tribe, Hebrews 7:14. That's the tribe Christ came from, and I'm gonna prove that to you real quick out of the scriptures. And notice, we don't say nothing out of our mouth. I go straight to the Bible and prove it to you. This is the last thing I know you got to get inside the stove. I just want to prove to you where Christ came from. Read.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Okay, Judah. So Judah is one of Isaac's sons. I'm sorry, Israel's sons, right? So Judah, the word Jew is short for Judah, right? So that's where the word Jew comes from. You would be a real Jew from the tribe of Judah. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, do your thing. I appreciate you. Brain overload. That's it. I appreciate you listening too. Y'all heard that? Y'all brothers heard that? This good news we bringing out? You heard it? Y'all go to church? I hear you, Elder. You do go to church? So I got a question. Elder, in church, do they tell you got to keep the law? You said in church, do they tell you that you have to keep the law? You don't have to keep the law. All right, so if you don't have to keep the law, let me get John 3 and 4. 1 John 3 and 4. And then after that, well, I will get to it. Matthew 5 and 17. So, Elder, real quick, I know you in your conversation, but I'm just going to talk to y'all right quick. So we're going to talk about what keeping the law is, if we got to keep the law or if we don't have to keep the law. Because according to your knowledge, Elder, or either one of you, what is sin? I call you elder because I assume y'all older than you. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm trying to be respectful. What's your name, brother? I'm sorry? Ever? Elvin? I can't tell if the brother tried to be funny enough. What's your answer, brother? We got to keep the law or no? Brother. Okay, we're going to go into it anyway. Bring that out.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 4.
So this is the Bible letting us know what sin is. Read.
Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law.
Uh-huh.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
What is sin?
The transgression of the law.
So sin, the Bible says sin is a transgression of the law. So stop walking around saying that there is no, or that we don't have to keep the law. Because if we don't have to keep the law, then that means there is no sin. And that makes no sense. We might as well take the whole Bible and throw it in the trash can right now. That makes no sense. Sin is the transgression of the law, which means that we have to keep the law. All my so-called black people out here, are y'all hearing this? Do y'all hear what the Bible is telling you right now? Sin is the transgression of the law. You have to keep the laws of God. You have to keep the laws of God. Just because Christ was crucified on the cross, it don't mean that your sin is done away, that everything is done. It don't mean that the law is done away with. That's over. That don't mean nothing. Right, brother? You heard that before? Come pull up right quick. Come talk to me. I need somebody to be a man and come and talk about this, because unfortunately, I can't have a dialogue with my brothers and my sisters. Nobody don't have time for the Lord. But I promise you, tomorrow morning, a lot of y'all going to be in the church talking about praise the Lord. Right? On a day that is not the Sabbath. The Most High told you to serve him. I mean, this is his day. The Shabbat is his day. Right? Not Sunday. The Roman Catholic Church changed that. Matthew 5 and 17.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
So this is Christ saying, think not that I have come to destroy the law. The law is not done away with. Read.
Or the prophets.
Or none of the prophecies that was said by the prophets. Read on.
I am not come to destroy.
He didn't come to destroy the law. Read.
But to fulfill.
But to do what?
But to fulfill.
He came to fulfill the law. And the only law that he fulfilled was the law of sacrifice.
That's right.
Because he was the sacrificial lamb. That's the only thing Christ came to fulfill. Right? Read on.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
Heaven and earth is here right now. I'm looking up, I see heaven, and we all standing on earth at this raggedy gas station. Read.
One jot or one tittle,
right,
shall in no wise pass from the law.
Ain't nothing gonna pass from the law. Read on.
Till all be fulfilled.
All has not been fulfilled. Christ has not come back yet. Right? All has not been fulfilled. So you have to keep the laws of God.
That's right.
You cannot do what you want to do. That's out. And everybody will be judged for what you do or what you don't do. Right? Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. You will be judged. Don't think that grace is going to save you. Grace is just a time period for you to pay that bill. Right? You get a light bill from FP&L. You can't pay it. You ask for a grace period. When that grace period is up, you got to pay that bill or they're going to turn your lights off. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The Most High wants you to come back to his commandments or he's going to cut your lights off. And not in your house. So you got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. There's got to be obedience amongst our people. You can't be lawless. You can't do what you want to do. Read that out.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 11. Because the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
So you think just because you get away with doing something and the Most High don't destroy you right then and there, read.
Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
So you think, you know what, I did this. I got away with it. I've been selling drugs, right? I slept with my neighbor's wife. I did all kind of abomination, right? I've been serving other gods. I've been burning incense to other gods and stuff like that. Ain't nothing happened to me, right? So I'm going to keep on doing it because God don't see it. Oh, he going to forgive me. He know my heart. Read on.
Though a sinner do evil 100 times.
You can do evil 100 times and you like, you know what, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. Ain't nothing going to happen. Read.
And his days be prolonged.
You still living. Everything good. Right? Read.
Yet surely I know that shall be well with them that fear God.
So those that keep the laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High, everything going to be good with us. Everything going to be good with us. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Yeah, there's going to be trials and tribulations and stuff like that. But for the most part, the righteous angels of protection going to be encamped around us at all times. Read on.
Which fear before him.
We fear him. Read.
But it shall not be well with the wicked.
So if you being wicked, you doing wicked things, it's not going to go well with you, right? You can't go around doing what you want to do. Read on.
Neither shall he prolong his days.
Your days ain't going to be prolonged. Because just like in the twinkle of an eye, he can take your life. An accident just happened over there. All praises to the Most High. He spared the people that was in the car. But that's a wake-up sign. That's a wake-up call, right? We got to serve God, right? We don't want to do what God tells us to do, but the first sign of trouble, oh Lord, oh God, oh Jesus, help me, please. But when you read the Bible and he tell you to keep his commandments, you don't want to do it. Come on now, that's hypocrisy. We can't do that. It's just like a parent. You got children, if you love me, you're going to do what I tell you to do. You don't feel like your kids love you when they ain't doing what you're supposed to do, what you tell them to do. It's the same thing with God. It's the exact same thing. He's our Father. He has rules and regulations for us. We have to follow those rules and regulations.
That's right.
It's as simple as that. We are not allowed to do what we want to do. Romans 6:1. Romans 6:1. Grace is not going to save you. Grace is not going to save you. Right? It's only just for a short amount of time that grace is going to do something for you. But you got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. You got to be obedient to the laws of the Most High. You can't do what you want to do. It don't work that way. And it's not something that's deep and dark and something all deep and philosophical that you got to try to break down and figure out. It ain't like that. All you got to do is use a relation point. If God is our Father and you're a father, we're his children, you got children, he tells you to do something, you got to do it. You tell your kids they got to do something, they got to do it. Or what happens? Punishment. It's simple. Don't make it complicated. It's not complicated. Read.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 1. What shall we say then?
Right, so what shall we say? What we going to say? Read.
Shall we continue in sin?
Are we going to keep doing what we want to do? Are we going to keep being lawless? Right? Are we going to keep sinning? Are we going to keep saying, you know what, I don't give a damn about the Bible. I'm going to do what I want to do. Right? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to keep living in sin? Read.
Shall we continue in sin? That grace may abound?
Oh, I'm good. Grace going to abound. We living under grace. Right? That's what everybody want to say. That's what your Christian pastor tell you. You living under grace. You good. Read.
God forbid.
Do what?
God forbid.
God forbid. Right? We're not going to continue in sin and think that grace going to handle everything. Read.
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
So we dead to sin. Why are we dead to sin? Because we know these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Right? And so we killed that old man in us. We dead to sin. We live for righteousness. Read on.
Know ye not that so many of us Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Yahushua HaMashiach were baptized in his death. Therefore, we are buried with him by the baptism into death.
That means that our sins should have died with the Most High, with Yahushua on the cross, knowing that we can't sin no more. We can't do that thing no more. We got to be perfect. Deuteronomy 18:13. We can't do that no more. We can't just go on and thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just going to keep sinning. I'm straight. I'm living under grace. Christ died on the cross for us. All of my sins is nailed to the cross. That's foolishness. That's foolishness. That's not in the Bible. Never ever does it ever once say that we can sin. It does not say that. It does not say that all our sins was nailed to the cross and died with Christ. It doesn't say that either. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy power.
Do what?
Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy power.
That's a commandment. That's in the book of Deuteronomy.
Right.
That's a commandment. It is a commandment to be perfect. We have to be perfect.
That's right.
When they say, oh, it ain't nobody was perfect in the Bible besides Christ, right? Job 1:1. Let's prove that. Let's prove that we can be perfect. We can be perfect. The Most High is not going to give us commandments and give us stuff that we can't do.
That's right.
That don't even make no sense. That's hate, as a matter of fact. Would you tell your child, you know, you can be white or Chinese? Would you tell your child that they can do something that you know they can't do to set them up for failure? No. So why would Christ tell us to be perfect and give us laws to follow to be able to be perfect that we can't do? That don't make no sense. Read that.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz.
Come on over, elder. Come and talk with us, because you look like you got some wisdom. Come talk to us right quick when you come up out the stove. All right, read that.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job.
Okay, we talking about Job. He lived in the land of Uz, right? Read.
And that man was perfect.
That man was what?
That man was perfect.
I thought Christ was the only one that was perfect.
That man was perfect.
Job was perfect. Job was a perfect man, right? So Christ was not the only person in the scriptures that was perfect. We can be perfect.
Right.
What's going on, Elder? How you doing? Appreciate you coming over.
Yeah.
So what you got a question?
I'm a Christian.
You a Christian?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, do you know, can you identify yourself on this sign?
I don't know, but I don't need it.
Okay. I'll help you. No problem, Elder. I'll help you out. Okay, so question, what is your father, your actual birth father, what is he a so-called African American?
No, he was African American, half Indian.
And half Indian. Okay. That half Indian, does that come from his mother's side or his father's side?
No, his father's side.
His father's side. So you would probably be right here.
Yeah.
You'd probably be from the tribe of Gad. And that's the interesting thing that you said that, because doing research, I found out during the 1700s, they was classifying, they was taking the Native Americans, right? And they would classify them as Negro. And then what they would do is they would take white people and they would classify them as Native American, which where the term $5 Indian came from, so that way they could get the land, right? So there's a lot of us that was walking around here that think we black or African American, and we really so-called Native Americans. My mother, for example, is full-blood American, Cherokee Indian, full blood, and I didn't know that. My grandmother was too on my father's side. I don't really know what my father's was, but I believe he was Native American also, right? So you would be from the tribe of Gad, and that's a powerful tribe, right? So do you know that the so-called blacks and Native Americans are God's chosen people?
Yeah, they is.
You already knew that, right?
I know.
Where you from, Elder?
Oh, I'm from North Carolina.
You from North Carolina? It's a lot of so-called Native Americans in North Carolina. A ton, right? What, Blackfoot Indian?
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's a ton of them. So it's all praises to the Most High. You have some idea of who you are. But let me go into something to further prove that we are the people of the book. Deuteronomy 28. You already know what I want.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
But
it shall come to pass,
right,
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes,
right,
which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now, all these curses, this is Moses, right, talking to the children of Israel after we came up out of Egypt. So he said, he had us all out. He was like, listen, this the deal now, because from verse 1 through 14, he said, if we do listen to the commandments and keep them, right, then all of these blessings was going to happen to us, right? But then on the contrary, he said, if we don't, all these curses were going to happen. Now, is a curse a good or a bad thing? A curse is a bad thing. So let's go into some of the curses, right, that to identify and to further prove, because we don't want to just be telling you something and not go into the scriptures and prove it to you, you know? So we're going to go into the scriptures and we're going to let you decide and say, you know what, that do sound like us. Or no, that might be the people over there in Israel. So let's find out. Let me get up. Go back. Yeah, go ahead. You can go there.
Verse 48.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemy,
Uh-huh.
which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger.
Okay, so when you hungry, where you go? Different places, right?
Yeah, I just go home and eat.
You go home and eat, but even when you get your groceries, right? Publix, Walmart,
Yeah,
right? Food Line, whatever. Who own those places? Do people like us own them places?
All right.
Right. So start from the top again on that.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Thou who?
Thine enemies.
So the Bible said we're going to serve our enemies, right? Read on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
God sent them against us. Now remember, these are the curses that come upon us. So God sent our enemies against us. In what?
In hunger.
In hunger. So we got to go to our enemies to eat. Read.
And in thirst.
So Dasani, any type of water, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Sprite. Our enemies own that. Read.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. So we got to get any clothing we wear, our shoes, our socks, our underwear, right? The do-rag on your head, the sunglasses on your face. We got to go to our enemies to get all that we need. Read on.
And in want of all things.
You want to get an education. You want to get a birth certificate. You want to get a death certificate. You want to get a loan. You want to get insurance. You want to get a home. Anything that you want to get, we got to go to our enemies to get that.
You gotta go to the white man. He's the enemy.
There you go. That's the whole point right there. And that's not us saying it. That's the Holy Scripture saying that. Read on.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Now, when we was in slavery, see that? They did that to us, right? It said our enemy would put a yoke of iron on our neck. Read on.
Until he has destroyed thee.
Now when does it signify we were destroyed? When they took the chains off of our neck, right? They took the chains off of us physically, and where was it? It's here, right? Why? Because we call ourselves black. We call ourselves niggers, right? Our Spanish brothers and sisters call themselves Spanish, Puerto Rican, Dominican, right? Cuban. We got chains on our minds now. They don't have to put them on our body. It's just like you got a dog, right? From a puppy, you keep him chained up, right? Until he learns this is where you got to be at. And then you can take that chain off, and guess what? It's on his mind now. You got control. And that's what it means. Read on.
You want the next verse?
50.
I gotta go take some stuff.
Okay, brother.
Well, hey, a black man, Ethiopian.
A black.
White man, the Gentile.
We're Ethiopians are definitely, we're not Ethiopian. Bring that out, Zephaniah 2 and 12. Let me prove that real quick. And then, all right, brother. All right, we're going to bring that out anyway, so hopefully you hear it. Zephaniah 2 and 12. Let's find out about the Ethiopians.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Ye Ethiopians.
You who?
Ye Ethiopians.
Read.
Also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
You shall be
Wow.
what?
Shall be slain by my sword.
The Ethiopians will be slain by the sword of Yahushua.
That's
right?
right.
We are not Ethiopians. We are not Africans. They can't stand us. And we can't stand them. They drink blood and do all kinds of rituals and wickedness. That's the Canaanites in the Bible. We are, I'm sorry, that's the Ethiopians are the Canaanites, but they're Hamites. Those are not our people. We are separate from them. Right? The first white man showed up, Genesis 25 and 25. Matter of fact, start at 21. The first white man showed up because, and it's recorded in the Bible, right? Because everybody else was the same color. You listening to me, Elder? Elder with the hat on and the gray beard. What's going on? Are you hearing me? All right, cool. So if you listening, we finna show you in the Bible when the first white man landed on the planet. All right? Check this out. Have you ever heard that before? Out of the Bible? We finna bring it out right now. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
So Isaac was praying to the Lord about his wife. Read.
Because she was barren.
She couldn't have no kids. Read on.
And the Lord was entreated of him.
Uh-huh.
And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
So the Most High blessed Rebekah, her womb, and allowed her to conceive. Read.
And the children struggled together within her.
And from conception, they fought in the womb. They were fighting. They were struggling in her womb. Right? Read.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So Rebekah said to the Lord, if this is a blessing from you, why are these children causing me so much pain in my stomach? Read on.
And she went to inquire Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
So the Most High God said to Rebekah, 2 nations are in. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I'm Salakia. My mind is on a few different things. He said 2 nations. Now, what is a nation? Nation is short for nationality.
Right.
So he said 2 nations are in thy womb. Right? Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And he said 2 manner of people, meaning 2 different types of people will be separated. That's the key right there. He said they will be separated. Right? Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. So elder, don't let the man take the word away from you. Listen up, elder, I'm talking to you too. I'm giving you the good word from the Bible. So who is stronger, black people or white people? Who's stronger? They both can't be strong the same. Who's stronger? Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, elder.
That's right.
You got some wisdom. The other brother, that's folly. Read on.
And the elder shall serve the young.
The elder shall serve the younger. So this is the Most High talking to Rebekah, telling her about these 2 different people that are in her womb that he blessed her to conceive. He said the elder shall serve the younger, right? And he said one shall be stronger than the other. Read on.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
So there were twins in the womb. Elder, you listening? We getting to it. There were twins in her womb. Read on.
And the first came out red.
So the first one came out what color?
Red.
Who's red on the earth? Okay, that's what I call what they is again? That's right. What we call them down here, rednecks, ain't it? Blue-eyed devils, right. So the Bible say the first one came out red. Now remember it said the elder shall serve the younger. So the first one, which is the elder, came out red. Read on.
And the first came out red.
All over.
Like in hairy garments.
Red and hairy, right? Red and hairy. Now, what all these Gillette commercials, all these razor commercials, don't white folks be growing hair all up their back and on their arms and stuff like that? But us, what are we? We smooth, right? We smooth. Read on.
And they called his name Esau.
They called his name Esau. That's the progenitor or the father of the white race. His name was Esau. That is in the Bible. Genesis 25 and 25. Remember that, elder. Read on.
And after that came out his brothers. And his hand took hold of Esau's heel.
Now, how come they didn't describe what his brother looked like? Because everybody on the earth looked the same. And here again, he says his hand was holding on to his brother's heel. So they was fighting in the womb all the way until they came out. Imagine a baby coming out of the womb and a hand from the other baby is grabbing the baby that came out of the womb.
That's crazy.
That's a serious fight right there. That's what you call on sight.
That's right.
Read on.
God. And his name was called Jacob.
And they call his name Jacob, right? After he wrestled with the angel, his name was changed to Israel. And if you know anything about the Bible, you got Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Read on.
God. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him.
Okay, drop that. Let me get 1 Peter 1 and 13. 1 Peter 1 and 13. So I hope you heard that, elder. I'm glad you was listening. All right, because we bringing out this wisdom right now, and that's the Holy Scriptures, right? We're not speaking from out of our hearts. We're not saying what we think. We're giving you the thus saith the Most High.
That's right.
You got it? Read that.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
So the Most High said, get your mind right, right? It's always time for fun and games. But right now, the Most High said, get your mind right. Read.
Be sober.
Do what?
Be sober.
We got to be sober out here, right? Ain't nothing wrong with drinking, but don't be drunk. Be sober. Read on.
And hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you as the revelation of Hamashiach Yahushua.
So you just pray that the Most High have mercy upon you when he cracked the sky, right? And blesses you and don't kill you. Because he's coming back to kill a lot of people.
That's right.
All right, and with that, I'm going to say shalom to the children of Israel. Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.